Where's the controls to this thing? Why don't I get to fly that? Because I'm cooler. Oh, never mind, found it. I know what would be perfect. Hit it! Afterburner 2 is an arcade shooter what was originally an arcade title back in the day, and then it was later ported onto the Sega megadrive. Even though the plane on the cover is not the one that you get to fly in game, yet I didn't care because this game has a lot of explosions and non-stop fast action gameplay. So saying that it's one of my favourite megadrive games, it is probably up there in the top 10. For the campaign, you leave Sega's aircraft carrier and instantly start shooting enemy planes down. There's not really much to go on unless it was in the instruction manual, but I don't have the manual, so I'm going to say that this is probably down to the console wars at the time. You play a Sega pilot shooting down Nintendo planes, it would explain why Sega has an aircraft carrier. Now this isn't an easy game, it's definitely a challenging game. Even on its easiest settings, it's still challenging. The rules are simple, don't get shot down. It's a lot harder than it sounds, especially later on when there's missiles coming from behind you, and that goes with the enemies as well when they're shooting from behind. At least the game does alert you when this happens. Although it is a bit harsh by dodging these planes and the missiles in ahead of me as well at the same time as the ones behind. Talking about multitasking. For the controls, I found them easy to get used to. The A button makes the plane go faster, the B button fires missiles, and the C button slows you down. Yet the plane does have a default speed without pressing any buttons. I found out I could easily do a barrel roll even when I didn't want to. It's good to dodge missiles, but sometimes it's just like it's got a mind of its own and it does it automatically. And it did get me killed because of it, where I did it a few times by accident and I died. Even though doing a barrel roll is really cool. It's like a love-hate relationship what I got with it. Afterburner 2 is a fast-paced game. There was times that I was holding the controller very intensely when I was dodging all these incoming missiles. It's like, and it's like when I pulled it off and dodged them, I was like, yes! You do have infinite bullets and they fire automatically. You also have missiles, yet the plane has a limited amount of missiles, although you do get refuel stations for the missiles, and these missiles I kept on running out, especially on the later stages. So I kept on trying to spread them out to the next refuel station, and that was easier said than done in my case, where the missiles are really the main way to attack the enemy planes ahead of me. The bullets do damage, but that's really only when enemy planes are close up, so I was relying on missiles for the most of the game, especially with the enemies where they're so fast just to go right by you. I found to get a lock onto the enemy with a missile, you've got to be like parallel to which way they're coming. It's like if that one's going that way, you've got to aim your gear to that way, and then it locks on, and then you can like move around and fire the missile. But you have to be like parallel on every one to get a lock on. So it's a lot easier said than done. Yeah. If you're firing missiles randomly, the chances are you're not going to hit anything at all. The game depends on you beating your own score. The further you go, the more points you rank up. However, you can add to these points as well by shooting down enemy planes. And every time when I beat my own score, I felt like I accomplished something major. And I knew that I was getting better at the game. And then I wanted to beat my own score again and go back. But every time when I turned the console off, I seemed to have lost the point scores system and it went to the default setting. So I had to keep on writing down my points, and it's like, oh, I did it! I beat my own score! You do get continues, and boy did I need them lives and continues when I hit past level 15, and that's when it started to really ramp up the difficulty for me. And yeah, it sounds like it's been really generous, and it is in some ways, but in other ways it's like getting very brutal when you get to the 15th stage. That was for me anyway. For the AI, they're definitely well done. I never noticed one hiccup whatsoever, so to me they were well done. The level design is pretty much straightforward, go through each zone, and most of them do have their own themes to them. One minute I was flying across the ocean, then the next I was in a desert, and then somehow I was on the moon. I'm not entirely sure about that last one, but it does look like it to me. All the graphics are impressive and detailed for when this game came out. I never noticed a slowdown on how much fast gameplay it has. It's remarkable that they pulled this off on the megadrive. I found the soundtrack really good. I mean really good. Nevertheless, there's not really that many soundtracks to this game. You can turn off the music, yet my advice is don't. Without it, it's like a bunch of noise that hurts my ears and it was really unpleasant to listen to. For the voice acting, there's really only one word what I remember is fire, 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 fire. And I heard that a lot. I mean, many times. It kind of got drummed into me. For how long the game is, I would say around about the 22-minute mark. Yet this game is meant to be played multiple times. So in the end, I found that Afterburner 2 is a great game, and I found myself picking up this game for a quick session. It's an easy pick up and play game, what I like. But it did take time for me to at least get half decent at it, and I liked the challenge that this game gave me, so I kept on going back for more every time. So have you played Afterburner 2? What do you think of it? Leave it in the comments below. Until next game, you guessed it,